ITV. Come on in.
It's all aboard Royal Princess, one of the world's largest luxury cruise ships.
God, I've been on one that big before.
As crew and passengers set sail around the Mediterranean.
I love a good adventure.
With cruising more popular than ever and a choice of over 130 competing cruise ships,
we like to have a certain element of class.
being second best is not an option.
How many whales will there be outside the ship, and what side will they be on today?
With 4,000 passengers all expecting five-star service,
No pressure.
the crew of 1,400 must cope when the unexpected happens.
It's a train smash, but this is what happens on ships, you know? It's very unpredictable.
This time, tension in the galley as a health inspection looms.
I'll be mortified if we fail. That's a disaster.
And this is clearly not clean.
Campbell faces challenges as the onboard alcohol supplies dwindle to worryingly low.
We have a Bellini bar with no Prosecco.
And Timothy's linguistic skills are tested to the limit.
The name of the building is
Royal Princess is at anchor in Kotor in Montenegro,
Put any cream on it at all?
as southern Europe finds itself sweltering in one of the hottest summers on record.
Boiling, unbearable. I'm gonna melt.
With temperatures over 40 degrees, some are calling it heatwave Lucifer.
Now the heat here in the Med is, oh my God, unbelievable. At the minute that we open the gangway, you're boiling.
On shore excursions, Timothy's been trying his best to keep his tour customers cool.
Some of the tours are changing because we want to get them off into the hot places first so that they don't pass out. Imagine coming down the stairs, boom, 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 boom.
But while it's hot outside, in the galleys, the crew is feeling a heat of a different kind.
Basta main course.
Oi! Sorry, boss.
Every aspect of Chef David's catering operation is about to come under the most demanding scrutiny.
Why are you coming in here from the side?
Tomorrow, head office is sending the fleet health inspector on board. She's going to scrutinize the ship's cleanliness from top to bottom. With many of his 320 staff new to the ship, Chef David calls a meeting of his team leaders to read them the riot act.
We're going to do a full general cleaning tonight. When we say wash, don't open the fridge door and throw a bucket of water inside. That's not how we wash. Let me just make myself clear that if there's a violation that is identified, the supervisor is the person who's going to be disciplined. Everybody know what the consequences are? Yes, sir. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.
On deck 5, Timothy is finding his salesman role is putting him under pressure.
Thank you. You just want to change tours?
Yes.
We have like a target that we try and meet each cruise. Obviously, we want to hit our target because that's what we're here for. If I don't make it, they'll shackle me down in like deck 3 in the dungeon. There's a ton of tours, so I'm just going to check which one still goes to Pompeii.
Timothy is mounting a full charm offensive to sell more.
Somebody smells really good. Is it you? It's really nice. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. Yeah, enjoy yourself.
He's processing the self-service bookings that passengers have put into a drop box in reception in his name.
Right now, everybody went for breakfast, and I said, no, I'm not hungry. So now I'm in here processing these tickets, and while they're upstairs eating, and my target's going up. So just being a little cheeky.
In his crew cabin, getting ready to start his shift, is 23-year-old third officer Josh from Australia. As the most junior officer on the bridge, today he's got to do one of the things he dreads. Making an announcement to the entire ship.
The signal you have just heard is the general emergency alarm.
If you have not already done so, you should return to your cabin, collect your life jacket, and proceed to the muster station.
Do you want everyone to know that you mean business? It's reassuring for them to know that we sound like we know what we're doing and we're confident with everything we say. So.
Propulsion on bridge control taken and tested.
Josh has previously only worked on cargo ships, so being a cruise ship officer and dealing with passengers is a big leap.
Naturally, I'm quite a shy person, always have been. I was always the quiet, reserved kid at school, but coming here has really brought me out of my shell. I guess I had no choice having to dine with 3,000 passengers each night.
As a junior officer with ambitions to one day be captain, Josh will have to show his colleagues he's got what it takes. Down in the galley, Chef David is getting tense.
Straight away, it's a violation.
As tomorrow's health inspection looms.
Wet and greasy. Needs to be cleaned, huh?
As the person ultimately in charge, Hotel General Manager Craig joins forces with Chef David. Both of their reputations are on the line, so no stone is left unturned.
You can't put here 3 medium containers. Not 3 medium containers, it's 6 medium containers.
Everyone in the galley is trained to comply with strict hygiene standards, and woe betide anyone who falls short.
Guys, you have to work in compliance, man. You're gonna get nailed.
As Hotel General Manager, Craig takes final responsibility, and he won't tolerate any lapses.
If we identify that someone's specifically doing something negligent, then, you know, depending on the severity, there's potential to be terminated.
Passengers are starting to head back to the ship. Today has been 5 degrees hotter ashore than average.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now approaching the ship. Please stay seated until instructed to disembark.
It's mercifully cooler at sea level, but passengers will still be glad to get inside the air-conditioned ship. Royal Princess leaves its secluded anchorage in Kotor Bay and heads back out into the Mediterranean. There is one welcome consequence of the heat wave for the ship. The 18 bars on board are all doing a brisk trade as they endeavour to quench passengers' thirsts. Now that the ship is at sea, the onboard casino on Deck 6 is allowed to open for business.
All these down here.
Hoping to win big tonight is couple Jason and Tony.
Here, watch. 1, 2, yes!
These northern high rollers gamble up to £500 a night on the slot machines and are among the elite passengers on board with a minibar and canapes in their room.
You feel like a bit posh, you know what I mean? Especially when you're a Yorkshire lad for the councils to you get elite, you're like, oh my sir, you know.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Lucky.
Jackpot, grand. Oh!
To make sure they don't go home broke, Tony is setting a rule.
When I get on the cruise, there's one golden rule. I block his card.
These are the Chinese ones here, Tony.
No.
Here.
As Jason and Tony try to win, in Bellini's next to the casino, bartender Campbell is ready for business.
My parents live in Otterburn now, so in England, so it's right next to the border. I only have 2 months a year at home, so.
Scotsman Campbell has been on cruise ships for 3 years and prides himself on keeping his customers happy.
You don't have a boomerang, do you?
You know, it's called a boomerang that doesn't come back?
No.
A stick.
The signature drink of his bar is the classic Bellini cocktail from Venice, made from Prosecco and peach puree.
When the people come, they come for this unique cocktail. I can sell anything up to a couple of hundred of these a night.
But he's in danger of letting his customers down. There's been an unusually high demand for Prosecco on this cruise, and he's running low.
It's not even busy and we're going through a lot of Prosecco. We've gone through about 5 bottles today, and it's only halfway through serving today. It's not good. Seems a bit silly if we don't have any Prosecco.
Campbell's boss, bar manager Michael, is in charge of all 18 bars on board and heads down to the cellars to investigate the problem.
This is where we store everything, down here on deck 3, and up on deck 4 as well.
When fully stocked, there should be 18,000 bottles of wines and champagnes down here.
Well, that is very empty, and it is normally floor to ceiling full of stock. I didn't realise we were so low. But we're not like a normal hotel where we can pick up the phone and ask someone to drop off in a couple of hours 10 cases.
With no Prosecco in the stores and fearful of passenger complaints,
This time is actually quite serious.
Campbell has no other option.
Running out of an important item is not very good.
He's going to search every bar, store and fridge on the ship for any remaining bottles that might be on board.
Thank you very much, appreciate it. Nope, other side of the ship.
The problem is bigger than he feared. From bow to stern, he's not finding many bottles.
May I take it, please?
Yeah. This is turning into a Prosecco drought.
I've been all around the ship for 4 bottles. Because Bellini, we have a Bellini bar with no Prosecco.
With 3 days until new stock is due to be taken on board, Campbell is hoping the taste for a Bellini temporarily goes out of fashion.
What can I get you?
I will have a couple of classic Bellinis, please.
So you're lucky. This is probably the last couple, to be honest with you.
Fantastic.
There you go, sir.
Thank you so much.
Don't get a taste for it too much, okay?
Campbell needs new supplies, and fast, as Prosecco runs out. But it's not stopping a deck party. As Royal Princess sails off and passengers catch a welcome sea breeze. But down in the galleys, the crew has a night of hard work ahead. With the fleet health inspector on board tomorrow, every inch of the galley has to be spotlessly clean. Chef David is feeling the pressure.
There's always violations. You know, you're never going to be 100%. The best scenario, obviously, is that we score highly in the inspection and we've got a few points to rectify.
He's determined that they improve their rating.
The worst scenario is that we fail the inspection. I'll be mortified if we fail. That's a disaster.
Royal Princess is heading towards the Italian island of Sicily in one of the hottest summers on record. This morning, officers on the bridge have to carry out one of the trickiest nautical manoeuvres in the Mediterranean, docking in the port of Messina.
We got about 25 to 30 knots of wind.
The ship has to make a complete 180-degree about turn before docking. For Staff Captain Mario, every second counts if he's to turn in exactly the right place.
So that's the position of the ship now. That's in the next 90 seconds. Slowing down the speed now.
Third Officer Josh looks on as his colleagues attempt to rotate a vessel that's 330 meters long.
In the next 45 seconds, we are going to do the handbrake turn. I'm going to turn it around like this. You can do that with the Aston Martin as well, and it's less expensive than this one.
Mario must choose exactly the right moment to avoid the risk of hitting the quayside.
All right, let's do it. Handbrake turn.
This challenging maneuver has drawn a crowd of spectators on the top deck.
It's quite tight coming in through the port there, but managed to turn the huge boat all the way around into this very small area, but it was fantastic.
A 19-story floating hotel now sits on the very edge of Messina, the gateway to Sicily. Safely in port, one of the ship's 5 tender boats is being launched. Watching from the bridge is Josh. He's got to learn how to drive one to ferry passengers ashore, and he's not looking forward to having an audience.
That's a hot spot for the teasing, if you like. Especially because there's always so many eyes watching you do it from the bridge, so it's easy to sit back here and judge the person driving, but it's very stressful for the person in the tender. They're harder than they look. It's okay like this when they're empty, but when they're full of 180 passengers who've just had a big lunch ashore, it can be a bit harder because they're really heavy.
Nerves are starting to show as Josh has to demonstrate he can drive the small boat before he can progress to take the helm on the big ship. Second Officer Andrew is putting him through his paces.
Now I suggest approaching from about a 40 to 45 degree angle. Okay. No.
With all eyes on Josh driving a 380,000-pound boat, he's feeling the pressure.
Disengage.
Before he's allowed to carry passengers, Josh will have to clock up 20 hours of driving instruction. It's not going to be an easy afternoon for him.
We're going to have to abort. Start again.
It's not easy at all.
With temperatures inland set to top 40 degrees, some families have decided not to go ashore.
I mean, I knew it was going to be hot, but we didn't realise it was going to be this hot, did we? It's too hot to walk around, it's dangerous.
Oh my God, factor 50.
Gambling elite passengers Jason and Tony have 4 hours before the casino opens, so they're braving the afternoon sun.
I asked for 2 cherries.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I was thinking both. 2 cherries.
No, 2 for me.
Only for you.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm only joking. Come here. Oh my God. Thank you.
If you could work on a cruise ship,
yeah,
what would you do?
Probably casino, because you don't have to stay in bed all day. Don't have to get up till night time. What would you do?
Cleaner.
Whatever. Chambermaid. Hello, room service. Tony speaking.
While Jason and Tony bake in the heat, the mood is much more serious down in the galleys. Fleet Health Inspector Shannon has arrived from head office and nothing is escaping her.
Some are just a little rusted. This is clearly not clean. It's also not supposed to be upside down, right way up. How's someone going to touch this? We're touching everything.
Inspections happen twice a year, and in the end, it's Hotel General Manager Craig's neck that's on the line if she gives them a poor rating.
Failure is not an option. She's been very, very thorough. She's been very intense. I'm a little bit unsure of how she's found things, so it's causing a little bit of anxiety.
Health inspection over, all they can do now is wait for her report. As Josh is getting one step closer to hanging up his L plates after more practice.
Stop the engines.
Yeah. Photo gun.
Josh, how are we doing? Stop.
Just stop the engines.
He absolutely nailed it, Josh. That was absolutely perfect.
It's rewarding to get that sort of response and that outcome, with especially with no one hurt. A good sense of achievement and a good relief that it all went to plan.
While some passengers are staying on board, others are facing the heat and exploring ashore. Trying to swat up on the excursions he has to sell, Timothy's travelled an hour up the coast to the historical city of Taormina.
Let's go, Annam.
Timothy and his colleague Estefania have got to be able to persuade passengers that the £72 excursion is good value.
It's so pretty, like it's like amazing everywhere.
But absorbing all the information through the headsets is proving to be taxing.
It's the Virgin Mary something, I didn't hear the rest.
It's from the 1950, it's the Virgin Mary with Jesus, and it was a gift.
I think this church was built when?
In the 13th century.
13th? The name of the building is It's Italiano. I'm easily able to sell this now. Basically, it's Roman, it's old, it's pretty, lots of flowers.
As Timothy and his tour group make their way back to the ship, worrying news reaches the bridge about other tours whose return is delayed.
Bridge, Andrew. And roughly how many buses?
We're looking at about 11 buses.
Oh, bloody hell, okay.
Yeah.
There's been a fire on the main motorway. So what's happened is all of our tour buses have been stuck in what now is a traffic jam.
Forest fires caused by the heatwave are delaying tour buses. And until they're back, the ship can't depart, holding up thousands of passengers. Those who have made it back have alarming eyewitness accounts.
We passed where the fire was. There was a structure and a couple of cars were on fire.
It was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Some part of the highway, like you couldn't even
See through the highway.
see through the highway. It's crazy.
There is, however, good news for bar manager Michael.
My Prosecco's arrived.
Being in port has allowed an emergency order of Prosecco to be delivered.
Campbell should be really happy. It means Bellini's bar will have its Prosecco. They can do their cocktails.
120 bottles of Prosecco are loaded on board, which will tide them over until the ship is restocked in Barcelona in 2 days. The Prosecco drought is over. On the quayside, the last of the delayed tour coaches is finally returning.
Got another bus coming. Awesome.
Welcome back. This way back to the ship, just by the white marquee and into the terminal, please. Bridge for Shorex. Good evening, just to advise, all tourists are back.
Welcome back.
There's relief that everyone is safe and the ship can finally depart. Before sail away, Chef David is hoping there's good news for him, too.
Come in.
Hi, Craig.
The health inspection report is in.
All right, so I have the report here. Yeah. We just came from the office.
Okay, break the news. Don't keep me hanging.
She was very complimentary of the cleanliness, knowledge. She thought it was one of the cleanest galleys she'd seen in her inspections.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very good. I just kind of feel like there's kind of a big weight lifted off my shoulders.
You know, if you get results like this, it means that I'm getting through to the guys. So it's a win-win situation for me. I'm over the moon.
Spirits are also high for Campbell, whose bar is now fully stocked again.
Yeah, I'm very glad because we're now back in business. No more complaints, so it's good. I'm glad.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the captain speaking.
Now it's time for us to be getting underway.
And with the health inspection over too, it's time to celebrate.
2, 1. Yay, the bubbly has arrived.
Next time...
This is not even going to last 10 minutes.
Chef David feels the pressure as supplies threaten to run out.
You never have a day where everything is smooth. Never.
The competition hots up as passengers nominate their favourite staff.
Thank you for all you do.
I can't believe you guys got me this.
And one of the ship's most important instruments goes wrong.